don't really want to walk any closer, but just because it's so thick, not really my preference to just a lot of stuff that could be hiding here. But I'm just wondering, is that a tree that's upside down? Are those the roots? I'm not sure, but pretty interesting. All right, so I'm at the beginning of a trail, and I saw this right here, right in the beginning, and I decided, okay, this is a good place to start. I actually drove past another place that looked really interesting. I don't have lots of time today it's kind of later in the day. Just had that desire. And I don't know if you guys can relate to this. Look at that though, I'm right at the beginning of the trail. And it was just crossing my mind to this exact spot, just check it out. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. There's lots of stuff happening right here in this tree. But I saw this and that kind of, for me, was like, all right. That's enough for me to have a look and see what I find. All right, so I am barely started. I'm just into the woods. I wanted to get just a little off the road because I could hear some people. There's like a house, but I had to stop. Look at this. That is up top. It's a couple feet above my head. And then if you look below it, you can see like possibly little, but that is freaking amazing right there. And I'm barely starting here, and I'm looking around and just there's so much stuff that's eye-catching for me. Some kind of sticks hung up right there. Another creaking tree, but this thing, oh my goodness, look at that. I don't know if it's hard to get size perspective in video, but let me go. That's about how tall I am, around there. So it goes, I'm about 5'10", so that's how big that is. Wow. So there's my famous Wawa coffee. But I did notice, it cracks me up sometimes, but you know, you see this and you don't maybe think about it, but clearly there was a tree put across the trail. I saw this and it reminded me to just sort of stop, introduce myself, and ask permission to go in. You know, you see this and you figure, oh, it's a human trail, but there could also be reasoning behind the log across the trail. And that just reminded me to do that. And wow, look up there, there's like a branch just hung up there. You can see where it fell from, so maybe it just fell. I don't know, but those are always suspicious to me. Look at that thing. Beautiful day once again. I actually feel like I'm like 50, 100 yards off the street and I feel like I hear footsteps right in there, but it's probably not really footsteps. I was hearing something. It could be like a chipmunk, I don't know. Squirrel, whatever they have down here. So I've noticed this in Florida a few times where there's just, the dirt is so disturbed. I can't even, I don't know what could be the cause of just the way this dirt is. But it makes me think of footprints, and I'm not gonna spend a lot of time looking, although I could probably sit here for an hour just looking at this. But I wanted to circle back because they're right up here. There was one that was intriguing. It's hard to say though, I mean, look. But this thing right here, if you can see that, right there. Kind of interesting, although, but you see right there, it's almost like a heel. And here's my foot in it. There's the size of my foot, but caught my eye for a second there. You never know, but you just look at this. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand how this dirt gets like this. I mean, it looks like kind of looks like there's just freaking huge footprints everywhere, in a way. So I don't know. Over there, all around. I mean, that's exactly, it's like tons of footprints is what it looks like. I don't know. You tell me, anyone that knows that's watching this. What is the cause of this stuff? Right, and just barely any further, I found this. It's kind of old and all that, but I don't know if you just heard that. It was, not sure what that was. Kind of owlish, doggish, I don't know. Like woo 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 woo. There one again. Let's listen here for a second. I feel like there's lots you could see out there. I can barely even get down this trail and I'm just, that's fine though. I don't, there it was again. All right, let me listen, try to catch it this one time without talking over it so you can hear it. It does it again. It did it once more there if you could hear it. It's kind of fate, so I'm not gonna spend too long trying to catch it because of that, but gosh, there's a lot to look at in here. That was just my walking stick. All right. Just as I was lots of sounds in this forest. Some footsteps, there's that sound again. But was that an owl? Again? Greetings. I'm just getting started here, so I'm not like ready for all these sounds. Anyways, sorry. I was just gonna say one other thing I noticed next to this was this. Someone once did say an X on the ground means welcome. Robin McRae, she has a story about her garage. It's more of that dirt stuff. That sound is still, I'm heading in that direction, so we'll see, but all right. Well, Maryland Squatch Watcher, if you're watching this, I'm thinking of you because I just finished your video and you talked about certain bird calls signify presence of something, and I just heard a couple interesting ones. I wanted to walk this way. I guess we should look at the ground everywhere. It just looks like there's these huge impressions or something. I don't know how dirt would get so disturbed like this. I'm sure there's some explanation, I would think, right? But anyways, oh wow. So here's what's going on here. That's just, okay. It's broken there. Doesn't even look like it's attached. I guess it is sort of really old though. But that is what I was moving towards. I noticed that limb there, so I just wanted to move over here and take a peek. If you've watched some of my videos, I'm sure you've seen a few things like that by now. Kind of laid over that. Man, this area is awesome. I think I'm like a mile away from my last video. How cool is, I mean, I feel like this whole forest has got stuff everywhere I look. And here's more of this stuff on the ground. It's just so unnatural looking. I don't think it would be freaking footprints everywhere, but there it is. that would be crazy. I'm thinking something digging, something like that. I mean, there's tons of it. So I'm sure someone knows what this is. Where I grew up, the ground is just kind of smooth. It doesn't look like it's been unearthed. This almost looks like it's been unearthed or something. Dug up or just messed around when it was wet. Let's see. We have a bone right there in this little, I don't know, kitchen, dining room. Pretty cool. Oops. Just tripped over a vine. Some more of that. So cool. Right, so just here, just a tiny bit further. There's a couple little interesting possible things. I noticed this, which that's my walking stick in the middle, but these two up against that tree and that one there. Sure is quiet. And tons more of this. There's so much of it that I don't know. Clueless. Just a little further up, we have this sort of possibly broken tree there. As I sit here and look at some of this, there's a snapped tree right there. Gosh, I feel like there's just a lot of possible handiwork in this forest. Like maybe a real lot. So much that it almost looks natural. But I was intrigued by this over here, this maybe that's, I don't know if that's anything or not, but I just saw it from over there and oh man, just even, you can see the stick kind of hanging that way and the broken one in front of it. There's a big one, big tree that's leaning kind of behind those somewhere. And there's this that's just bent over like that. There's two more arched over like that. One here. Have a look at the end. Can't really stick the phone in there. It's been a little overgrown. Not a fan of these shiny things. It reminds me of poison ivy. I don't want to touch it. But, even here, these. There's another big arch thing and a little one behind it. Man, there's so much here. Neat little spot here. That's just cool looking. And then this thing's like sort of bent. I don't know if that, could that have grown that way? No snow down here. Something else I was just thinking was some of these areas that I've been to in Florida, some are much thinner and this one's really thick. I can't really see very far. I kind of like that just for an area to explore. Interesting right here, this little curved. I mean, I literally just walked past some obvious arches because there's so many. It's amazing. And if you look this way, it's just kind of an opening, sunny, big birds flying above me. Right there. Hopefully that doesn't mean, I'm not even gonna say it. All love. There's another nice curved one in there. Man. Be intrigued to just walk right over there and have a look at this. I don't know if you can see just sort of through there to the left of that massive tree. There's like a stick at an angle. Just want to have a closer look here. I'm gonna walk over here where there's a little bit more of a trail. Not really a trail, but. And I see this on the way. Kind of neat. And I'm looking at the ground as I walk. Wow, this is cool over here. Over that way. This thing is really neat looking. But the one that really got me was that, I don't know what those might mean, but they feel significant to me. Kind of open right here. Maybe they hang out here or something. Very cool. There's another one. Wow. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, there's a deer straight through. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but just to the right of that kind of thick tree that sort of, oh, I think it just moved, yeah. Thought I heard something. There they went. What a cool area. I see that one. Some loud birds, huh? Yeah, that, gotta take a peek at that. Hopefully the sun's not too, bright in the camera. But, wow. That is cool. Look at that with the curve, the arch, and that. If that's not a structure. Right behind it, that one curved. Look at that. Wow. If anyone can hear me now, thank you. Thank you. Nothing but respect. It is an honor to have a look at your work out here. Wow. It's like this tree got sort of all chewed up or something. I'm not even looking at the camera, just keeping it up, so a little extra things for you guys to look at. I know some people can't get out much, and they enjoy just exploring themselves through these videos. That is absolutely adorable. That is probably a foot off the ground. And the end of that is very similar to a lot that I've seen. Wow, look at that little beautiful arch. Beautiful work. If whoever made this is around, thank you. Beautiful. And looking in this direction, I see this snapped tree. Kind of just being guided by stuff I see like this. And that is kind of interesting there, where it fell. Those vines, I don't know how, those might grow curved like that. You can see it right there. And this looks like it might have been sort of bent some time ago. I've seen a number of those where they sort of, I've actually seen one in my area where it was pinned, as people say, and then one day it just was released. And then there's that one right through there that's at that angle. Another one bent over and then straight on the top. Woodpecker, I think. I think I heard very faint movement. Somewhere over there. So it's hard to see, but there's a huge arch through there. If I move, you might be able to see it better. Looks a little bit too thick for me to get at, but look at that thing. That's like 10 feet up. There you go. Kind of do this so you can see it. That right there. Wow. And of course this one right in front of it, once again, it's like curved and then straight. Honestly, I feel like if that one was to release, it would eventually do this. Pretty interesting. And I'm right next to, right through there, is where I just was looking all through there. A little curved and possibly a bit of a structure under there. There's behind it, and I did notice over here it looked like possibly, yeah, is that a limb that's hanging again? I think it is hanging, or I don't know. Let me back up. I gotta, wow, it is hanging. See the top of it? Seen a few too many of those to think they just fall that way and get caught. Maybe it's possible. Looking at that through there. This place is amazing. All right. Oh, it looks like there's an open sort of area. If you look straight in the back there, it's kind of opened up. Deciding which way to go. I'm at a fork. Thinking that way. Cool, you can sort of see the open area through the trees here. And just all sorts of interesting stuff between here and there. Hanging branches. Just so much of this looks intentional. Everywhere I've been in this forest. At first I thought I found this amazing little area, and it was, but starting to wonder about this whole forest. I actually drove past a place that just had these two really nice looking broken trees. And instead I went a little further and pulled in here. So there's another place that I wouldn't mind checking out as well. So cool. See that right there? Looking at that, wondering. Looks like another massive tree that was across the path here. And there, okay, that's what that was. That was part of this tree. It's kind of interesting that that limb up there snapped. So thick here. There's a couple bends in there. You can see those. Hearing footsteps of some kind. That way. Can't really tell if that's bipedal or could be a deer. I don't know if you can hear that. Interesting movement, right? Hey, squirrel. What are you saying? Whatever that is. I think it's pretty big. The squirrel's looking at it. Hey, squirrel. Thank you. All right, well, I think you probably heard that. I'm gonna make some noise so I don't, whoop. I actually just had a bike walk drive by. Just heard a little twig snap. Now the squirrel above it is making noise. Hmm. All right, I'm gonna move. Greetings. In case there's something like a bear, I don't wanna surprise it. It's good to hear you in there. Bless you. Wow, look how thick it is here. I know whatever that was could hear me, so. Certainly could be. Look at this tree. Still moving around in there. Huh. You guys hear that? That almost sounds like bipedal jogging. Huh. Wouldn't that be something? I've heard footsteps, but never in the daytime before. You guys hear that? I'm gonna keep recording in case you can. It's a little more open right here. Except for these tree. But I'm hearing movement. Squirrels are responding. I don't know what they're warning. They're warning me about it about me, warning each other. I don't know. Go a little further this way. Because it's more open, sort of through there. That was wicked thick where I was, like, if anything was coming towards me, they wouldn't know I was there. And I don't want to surprise a panther or a bear like that. Or that way. Love to go see what it is, but wow. You guys hear that? Squirrels do. Anyways, I'm definitely intrigued what it could be. And I just thought, if anyone that knows animal behavior, Maryland Squatch Watcher, you seem to, if you see this. What would, if you can hear it still, what would make continuous sounds walking around out in the forest? Deer, bear. I'm still unable to tell whether I think it could possibly be bipedal, but there were some moments where it crossed my mind. Pretty cool stuff here too. Everywhere here, seems. I still hear it, so I don't know. Chipmunk? Squirrel? Sounds bigger than that to me. I have heard a couple little twig snaps and stuff. Not very obvious, but I sort of feel like deer don't keep walking around. But I don't know, maybe they do and they think there's nobody around, and I can still hear it too. That's wild. And the squirrels. They won't stop. Well, I keep saying I'm gonna move along and I just keep hearing it and wondering, but... And I did make some noise, thinking a bear or something would have heard that and possibly moved away. I don't know. Off the trail I can see a couple more bends. Amazing. This is really cool looking in here. And then there's a bunch going on in there. Over here it's kind of open. So much happening here. Those beautiful little spots here with lots of bends. Look at all those. Sort of kind of like a snap tree right there. Hearing footsteps again. It's like the day of footsteps today. sort of hearing the footprints that they don't seem to stop when I make noise. But notice this. Pretty cool. Look at all this. Couple bends over there. Man, look at that. There's the footprints, footsteps, right behind this beautiful bend. Wow. I have to start turning around soon. Don't ever want to stop. It's another one of those cool, I don't know what that is, a huge palmetto. Looks kind of like a palm tree. And look at all this. That one looks dead, maybe? Right up here. What an area. Look at that down there. It's almost like a trail. Look at all the sticks way down going across. Huh. So thick. There is so much going on here. Man, oh man. Little snap tree right there. A nice arch right through there. That almost, let's see for a second here. Does that look twisted? Maybe not. Does look snapped though. I think it still has leaves. These are its leaves, right? Yeah. That nice arch right there, and it's all dug up here too. There's more of that. Sort of like an arch there. And it's like a trail right through to that palm tree. This sort of part of a tree that's just hanging there. It's kind of open here again. Looked interesting from a little ways away, the way that this is angled. Here, I'll have a look at that. Certainly looks like an old tree that is hung up there. almost looks like there's vines and stuff. Somehow it came all the way down and wrapped around it. I mean, you could almost say they look like they're holding it up. Very interesting. There's one that's literally like parallel to it. I am no vine expert, but that looks like an odd way for it to grow. What a spot. Probably some kind of tool that did that, right? Cut that tree out. And we'll take a look this way. Man, if this forest doesn't have a look to it. I actually did hear some chipmunks just a second ago running. The squirrels, and they sounded a little bit different from the footsteps I was hearing. That crow's checking something out, huh? With so much going on, which seems to be, man, it's like everywhere here. But through there's a snap tree, and then look at how these two limbs are just hung up. Wow. Makes me think there's probably a lot of other intentional, even that limb that's kind of like that. And then I guess these, I don't know, this thing's snapping the top, and a squirrel over there. I don't know if that's about me, for me, or something else, someone else. Here's really cool. Look at all the little broken sticks in here. There is no way they landed like that. No possible way. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just land it on this little tiny bush and stay there. Just no way. So does that mean was some of that like woven? Oh, I just heard maybe a little knock right behind me there. Greetings. And just peeking at the ground too, possibly glyphs. This whole thing is interesting right here. It's like a beautiful little structure. That little thing with the brown leaves, little branches just hung up there. This is beautiful art, if that's what this is. Hear that? Almost like a bark mixed with an owl. I'm just looking that way where that sound came from. And this and that beautiful thing there. That's the sound again. And that, funny enough, as I'm facing where that sound came from, I don't know if you heard that, but it sounded like a little tiny knock right in there. Like a little tap. Man. Even this right here. What is this stuff? It's wild. I've said this 100 times. You can't help but wonder what it all might mean. Like just that little thing, the way that right there, and then it's that nice arch there. This here, there is so much. That stick that's just leaning. You can see the couple sort of in the back. Part of me thinks that they just have spent years doing all this. They're sort of a smaller, or no, kind of long but skinny at an angle. Like I hear very faint footsteps again. That's not so faint. I'd love it if there was a Sasquatch just kind of follow me around. That would be completely amazing. I'd love that. They know they're welcome. At least I tell them. If they want to be around me, they're absolutely welcome around me. Man. Hearing those footsteps and just trying to think of what it might be. I'm not sure at all what that might be. I can still hear it. I don't know if it's coming through the video. Straight ahead, so I'm just leaving the camera this time. twig snap there. There's that. I don't know what. I want to film a little more because it's closer. Hearing some twig snap. Oh no. Can't see. All right, so just off the trail, I noticed this open area. Maybe it's maybe they had one of those burns. A lot of stuff looks burnt. But I am noticing one snap tree over here. So I figure I'll just have a peek at that. Look at this place too. But yeah, that one, two actually. I don't see any more that are snapped. A cool spot. I don't even know if I noticed this while I was looking at that, but right over the trail there's a beautiful one of those. Right over the trail. All kinds of stuff going on here again. Looking at those vines all parallel with each other. Then there's this. Look at that. I don't know what it is about this spot, but pretty sure this is exactly where I stopped earlier. And there's still movement that I can hear in there. That sounds like a chipmunk or something, but anyways. So this tree that I noticed on the way, what I just noticed now, look at that curve up top. Look how much that's curved. There's just not like, I don't know how they do that, but that, you could never bend a tree like that. It would just snap. And there's no way that something falling would catch it and bend it like that. In my opinion, anyways. Freaking cool. It's like such a sharp bend. All that movement over here. It's kind of cool. My way back, and I'm sure I stopped to look at that sort of arch straight ahead, and I noticed that there's these other two that are through there, kind of in that same angle. It's so cool. And I sort of looped around, and that noise is right in there. And right up here, it's another really cool curve, arch. Really cool tree right there. These trees remind me of, like, I don't know, wizards and stuff, or something like that. It's like a gunshot somewhere. On the way out, and I noticed another, it's like a little arch with a stick on the end, sort of holding it down. So cool. This looks really nice at this time of day. Taking a look at this again on the way out, and the stuff behind it. This would probably be quite the place to hang out at night and listen. That looks like it has an old curve to it.